What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Waters, and we are currently in a very tumultuous time. Lots of things happening with USA Swimming, still no CEO, coming off of World Championships as we already recapped. And I felt like it was really, really important to have some of the athletes on that just experienced everything that went down, from illnesses in Thailand that carried over to World Championships in Singapore, to all the criticism that USA Swimming has been under fire. And so I reached out to a number of athletes, and we are very excited to welcome back Olympic champion, world record holder, Bobby Finke, back to the podcast. And Bobby is someone who I really have a lot of admiration and respect for, just in the way that he thinks about things, the way he carries himself, what he's been through, and really establishing himself as a leader on Team USA. And Bobby spared no words. I thought it was also really cool that he spent a ton of time preparing for this conversation, digging into the data dating all the way back to 2016, understanding the differences between different generations. And I loved so much of what Bobby said, and just his general outlook on the sport of swimming, as well as to his own performances. So I felt like this was as honest as a conversation as we're going to get when it comes to the athlete perspective, right? Neither of us are sitting here saying that we have all the answers when it comes to the USA Swimming CEO not having one for 340 plus days, as well as some of the other inner workings. But I felt like, let's hear the athletes. Let's hear what they have to say. Let's hear their perspective. Let's hear how they feel like they're being supported, right? And I felt like I got all the answers and all of the thoughts from Bobby. And so I'm very confident that you will as well. So without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Bobby Finke. What's up, Unfiltered Waters family? I'm just popping in post-workout here to share my experience with taking IM8's Daily Ultimate Essentials supplement. It has 92 essential nutrients. I can't say enough positive things. Better sleep for sure, more energy, sharper mental performance, as well as a healthier gut. And don't take my word for it, it's been founded and created by Mayo Clinic experts as well as NASA, co-founded by David Beckham, and it's also NSF certified, which means it's been third-party tested. So swimmers, athletes, you're guaranteed that is completely clean and safe to take. And I have to say, I think the biggest impact for me has been I've been able to do this consistently because I pop it in here, I shake it up. Whether I'm on the go, whether I'm on the plane, whether I'm in the pool, it's really, really easy for me to take and make sure that I'm consistent. I've noticed a huge difference in my energy levels as well as my recovery. So you know the drill, Unfiltered Waters family. Do code UNFILTERED for 10% off your order. Drink up.
I truly do not know what my family and I would have done without our endless pool this summer. You guys, we have been in our endless pool every single day. It's the first thing Caitlin asks to do when she wakes up in the morning, and every single night before we go to bed. We've had the baby in there with us, and it has honestly been so special watching our 3-year-old grow, and not only her comfort in the water, but her amazing skill level as well. And I truly attribute that to just how much time we are able to spend in the water with our endless pool. We were able to design the pool exactly how we wanted it. We have it right outside in our backyard, so the access to it couldn't be easier. It fits in perfectly with our home. And I am so excited that we have a pool that we can use for our training to get great workouts in when the girls are sleeping, or just as family fun activity time together. It's so wonderful, and we've got an amazing code for you guys. It truly fits into any stage of life that you are in. You can use code UNFILTERED for $1,000 off your endless pool. So go to their website, check out the amazing options that they have, the millions of ways that you can customize it, and get started on your endless pool today.
Bobby Finke, welcome back to Unfiltered Waters.
Yep. Thank you for having me. It was a blast the first time, and now we get to catch back up.
Yeah, I feel like the last year has been jam packed with many things, life, swimming. I mean, this past this past couple weeks has been wild, and I guess I'll just preface this conversation of I have so much respect for just how you carried yourself, Team USA in general, but how you carried yourself in the
Mhm.
face of just a lot of really tough things that have happened. And so I immediately reached out to you because I just feel like you're such a model of how to handle yourself in tough times.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean these last obviously the last couple of weeks, but I mean the whole last year was definitely interesting and kind of like navigating a whole new Olympic Games. Just because, Tokyo was that was like pandemic stuff, and I was still in college and everything, and had to get back kind of early because of NCAA's. Uh, but after Paris, took a lot of time off, and then kind of eased back into swimming, which was really nice, and eased back into racing as well. And kind of dealing with like the mental side of things of going into trials and stuff like that whole year went by really fast. That's the first thing that went on mine was just how fast that year went by. It kind of still feels like we just had the Olympics, and that
Yeah.
was a year ago, a few days ago. Um, and obviously going into the meet, uh, the guys we had 11 new guys, specifically, which is really, exciting. There was a lot of retirements or like breaks going on with the veterans on the team, rightfully so. Take a page out of Titmus's book, which worked great for her, and going
Yes.
into and it worked amazing for her. So, I was like, maybe I should do that. But um it was going into trials was pretty good. Definitely not like the meet I wanted, but it was kind of about getting your hand on the wall, getting on the team. That's always like the first and foremost goal when it comes to those meets. And there's a little bit of a longer break between trials and worlds, which was nice to get to spend some time at home, see my girlfriend for more than just a few days at a
Yeah.
time, uh, which was which was great. Got to hang out with my dog too. He's just chilling right next to me. But
He's so cute, by the way. I have many questions about Phil, but we'll
he's
table that for
I
a
mean
second.
he's adorable. Uh, um, but yeah, going into Worlds, there's obviously the whole we got ill in Thailand. There's a lot of things I can talk about when it comes to Thailand.
Yeah, yeah,
But like just the whole like general side, can definitely go into to deep about it later. But general side, I mean, like our team was looking good. Um, I was very happy with how we performed on both men and obviously women. The women have always been killing it for I don't know whenever they started swimming. So whenever
since
we
the
all started
beginning of
swimming, they've
time.
been great. Always been amazing. So hats off to them getting 8 gold medals, I think, specifically just the women's side, and the men. Luca came in clutch for us this year. Absolutely phenomenal swim with all his setbacks in his shoulder, dealing with multiple surgeries on that, and he came in and just put the whooping on those guys in that two fly, which is absolutely incredible to see. And then of course Jack Alexi hitting not just one but multiple 46s over and over and over again, and then a 45 on the last night. It was just like last year we were thinking when Pond went 46-4 and then 45-9 that we're not going to see those like type of swims from other guys for a while. But then all of a sudden we got Popovici going 46-5, and Jack's just pumping out 46s like it's no one's business.
Yeah,
Uh, and like there was a lot of inspiring swims throughout the whole worlds despite everything going on. And there was a lot of media coverage in a different aspect of worlds, of course, with Ryan posting a meme, Phelps reposting the meme, and then Rowdy having a couple words to say. in which I just read his, I guess, backing down on I don't he said something else too, but he like came out like clarifying what he was meaning and everything like that going into it. So there, I mean, the whole guys scene before the whole worlds, we talked about how there's going to be stuff like this going on, just because it's been like that for the past few years now.
Yeah.
Kind of just, if you like reading that stuff, go ahead, read it. If you don't, get off. You're not going to find the best things on there. But I'm always going to back up the guys. They swam great. Everyone stepped up. You had no idea who was going to be able to be on it that day and who wasn't going to be able to be on it, and it made relay decisions incredibly hard for the coaching staff. But the guys, I'm proud of how we swam. I'm proud of how we were. We weren't backing down. And of course, results didn't, for the most part, didn't always go our way. But it's that's going to happen every now and then. You can't always be the most dominant country,
Yeah.
and having superstars in other countries is rare, I guess, for the most part, especially maybe just because Phelps has always been here, and then there's been Ryan, and then Caleb had a few years ago. He was a big star. So yeah, it is just like superstars in other countries right now, but I don't think it's anything to be upset about or disappointed about in a sense of coming out and they don't want to say attacking athletes, but um, you know, just I'm gonna say attacking athletes in
Yeah.
different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, bottom line is I'm proud of these guys and I'm looking forward to our future. And nationals is going on. We're running into more roster cap issues, a lot of roster cap issues for next year at Pan Pac. So um, I think that's a healthy sign for the sport. It's very unfortunate that people are going to have to be left off the team, but I think that shows how much depth we have and how fast it's getting. Uh, so yeah, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. I last night I went down and like wrote down. I went through like the history for like the past like 10 years of like what won each event at the Olympics or Worlds, what podiumed at each event, what made finals at each event, and then I just like I my brain was going last night and like kind of preparing for this and seeing like what the general direction of this sport is kind of going to. Uh, but yeah, sorry, I
No,
ramble a lot and,
no.
and that was a lot of
Go.
rambling, but
Go. No, none of it's rambling.
yeah,
I'm like mental question there, question there, question there. I have so many questions.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, to start, well, I mean, I want to back it up all the way kind of to Thailand,
Mhm.
but I want to talk about, I love that you went into the data and went into the facts because I think that
Yeah.
is the biggest thing that Missy and I did our podcast last week, or it dropped
Mhm.
yesterday. And like, just, I feel like there's so much emotion right now. And I
Mhm.
think trying to go to data and logic is very, very helpful, not only for
Yeah.
alumni and people on Team USA, but also the general public who doesn't know
Mhm.
anything about the inner workings of our
Yeah.
sport, right? They just see the headlines, they just see the memes,
Yeah.
they don't truly see the information. So, what did you find in your deep dive last night at probably the wee hours of the morning?
Yeah. So I only went back to 2016. I actually have it like pulled up next to me. Um,
You're like,
but
here are the
it's kind
receipts.
of like, yeah, I like I'm coming. I mean, it's just like the overall this sport has just gotten so fast, especially in like certain events. Like the 100 free is absolutely nuts. In 2016, of course, Kyle Chalmers won it with a um, just look over here real quick, like a 47, almost 6, 47.58. And then that's you're not sniffing the podium this year. You're
No. Are
you're
you even
hardly
making
making it back to
finals?
you make finals by 6/100ths, I think.
Get out.
So it's I mean this even like just domestically too
Yeah.
amongst the US, like the 100 free was absolutely insane for the past few years. The two free was incredible at trials, and I understand the sort of, I guess, disappointment that might have been at Worlds when we have a lot of these guys that can like produce these times, and of course it doesn't go that way
Yeah,
for us. And in my opinion, that was due to obviously external factors that was
correct.
going on,
Yeah.
um, illness and whatnot. But the whole like depth of the sport is it's amazing to look at, especially like globally. This sport has just gotten so fast, and so many other countries are competing. And I mean, I think it would be absolutely fantastic for the sport one day where there's no one doubling, tripling, or quadrupling on medals. I think like the peak of this sport is where like everyone's only able to focus on one event, and that's going to be like what they can win or so. Like
Yeah.
they're just not going to be fast enough in another. Like to me, that's what the peak will look like, and however long that will be.
Kind
Eventually,
of
I'll
like
just be
Leon.
focusing on a mile, not. Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, his swims were that 2 IM was.
Insane.
I remember watching out on the bus. That was filthy.
Filthy. But to your point,
Yeah,
Leon, like he chose to not do as many events and look at what the result
yeah,
was.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, like, when we get to that point in the sport, that's when we're going to be at like our true best. And there's a lot of things that happen, I guess, when it comes to USA swimming as well. Is the pandemic didn't help anything. First and foremost, that really like stunted us a lot in growth aspect. And I think everyone keeps saying, I haven't looked at it, but everyone keeps saying like the growth numbers are like kind of flat right now, or it's not going up as we normally see after the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is just due to stuff we can't control. We can't control like the economy or anything like that. Because like swimming is an expensive sport for the most part. And when it comes to like clubs, like coaches can't really make a living off of like just being a club coach for the most part.
Yeah.
It's definitely not that easy, and it like there's so many different factors. It's hard for like USA Swimming to come in and like just try and fix those things, especially after the few years or the past 5 years that have happened. Not an economics major or anything. That's actually Ellie, my girlfriend. But
Bring her in for a consult.
yeah, yeah, just just get her in here and talk about the stage of everything. Um, but it's for the US. It's like I was also going into this. I have like a whole different chart too, just talking about like where we're at. It's trying to find that growth again. I is what I really want to see from USA Swimming is just try and get that growth back into the sport and see get all those kids back to this level. Just because in my eyes, a lot of kids want to go join the NFL, NBA, MLB, and that's like where the money is, and like it's easy to be social about the sports and post a lot of like social media stuff, which is huge in our day and age. And I don't know why some people were mad that we were posting during our training camp, and that's like how like we're supposed to. This is a very social media day and age. It's like how we get sponsorships and stuff like that. It's how we're able to, pay our way to train.
Yeah.
So that was silly to me. I don't understand that. People were mad about elephants.
That one
They
just
saw
got,
elephant.
I was
They
like,
saw they saw like an elephant for an hour, and
yeah.
then like that was it. You just go like see and pet an elephant for an hour, and you come back, and you're not doing like
I know.
kind of always done stuff like that. Like that's not going to destroy your rest or anything, especially
No.
if that's kind of like what you normally do. Like one of the things that's like always emphasized. Uh, Definitely at this time is like do what got you there in the first point.
Yes.
Like taper how you got there. And a lot of guys just aren't just like Me personally, I become very lazy during taper. There's my Ellie loves taking photos of me when I'm like making breakfast or something like that. She sent them to Katie this year too.
Oh my God, that's
Of I
amazing. Wait,
just
can
I
we
pull
see
up like
those?
a
Can you send them to
stool.
me? Can you send them to
I
me?
yeah, I can send one to you. But like I'll pull up a stool to the stove and I'm like pan frying potatoes and stuff. So it like takes like I slow cook them so it takes like 20 minutes for me to like cook potatoes and like home fried potatoes, breakfast potatoes. And Ellie's just like, you're just lazy because I'm just sitting there in a stool just like, just twirling them around in the pan and stuff. So I that's what I do to prepare myself. But like some people like they like spending a little bit of energy here and there to get their mind off of racing and competing that's coming up because it's incredibly stressful. It's in
Yeah.
Worlds is an 8-day meet and Olympics is a 9-day meet. You got to get your mind off. It's nothing worse than going to opening ceremonies. That's like that's time. That's energy consuming right there, especially if you're like racing the beginning of the meet. That's why like we're not allowed to go to it for the most part,
Yeah.
unless you're racing at the end. So like that argument, I was like, all right, you can cherry pick whatever you want. That doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
like
That
everything
one,
is already so detailed for us. W- We know what we're doing in a sense. Like we know what our bodies need and feel and how to get the best of us, if that makes sense.
a thousand
Um, but
percent.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that it was really tough sitting back and seeing I like I'm
Mhm.
not even in it and I almost have to do the same thing. Like I have to get off because I get so I can say this now because I'm way older than you guys, like mama bear protective, where I'm like, no, that's not right. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, like it's you guys are having a good time and you make such a great point around the social media piece. And I want to go back
Mhm.
to kind of the USA swimming growth because I do think that social media has to be playing a huge impact on, yeah, other sports look really cool on TikTok and
Mhm.
on Instagram. And so that's one aspect. But when you think about USA swimming, and obviously there's been all this kind of comparison around the performance at world championships and not having a CEO and, how that's affecting growth and performance as an athlete from that perspective, do you feel like there's anything that you're not getting or you're not like has anything changed in the last year in terms of support?
So like we've actually had a couple calls with some on the support staff of like things that can help us into this next year.
Yeah.
With like the detailed support staff and like one of those was actually like mentioned like doing like yoga and stuff like that. I think we're actually going to be starting to do that. So like we've had like trying to generate ideas and alongside like the technical stuff of like how like they're always asking how can we help you as athletes, um whether it's like a monetary value of sorts of paying for like say those like yoga classes or like massages and stuff like that or travel to meets or just like technical aspects of like coming to your team and looking at your strips what they've done before like I've seen Curtis every year or so at her
Yeah.
team pretty much just always checking things out. I've seen Alicia, the nutritionist, like come because she also works with like USA Track and stuff. So
Right.
I've seen her multiple times this year. Um, there's nothing that's like they can do for us in a sense that like there's nothing they can really do to help us perform better that they're not already doing. And for like the social media aspect, they're doing absolutely fantastic. I
I
mean,
agree.
we yeah, like they just been I'm gonna forget their names. So I'm not gonna say anyone just so I don't leave someone
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But like they've been doing absolutely fantastic. They're always sending us photos, videos, and like stuff we can collab with them on before going on them. before like going on the trip, they send out like a questionnaire of like, hey, do you want to be part of like this, and this to help like grow your account and stuff like that, or be involved with other athletes so you can both like just post with each other.
Oh, that's
Uh,
cool.
I yeah, so they're doing an absolute fantastic job when it comes to like handling all handling all of that and just like the whole creative side process.
Hmm.
And they're always videotaping, they're always taking photos of us while we're at our training camp. I have a bunch of photos that I could post, but I honestly refrained from posting in Thailand because of what started to go on.
Mm,
And people just like being angry for some reason that still doesn't make sense. I was like, I don't need this right now.
right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
got worlds to focus on, but it's just social media right now is, other than winning medals, is like the biggest part for us to become professionals in an already really hard to become professional sport,
Yeah.
just because there's not much monetary value when it comes to swimming compared, especially compared to like other, you know, revenue generating sports. Um, yeah, like we need social media more than ever. This sport has completely changed from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, way different from the 80s. It's not the same sport as it is today. And a lot of it is because social media in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, God, I know. And I feel like a lot of the comments and maybe criticisms are coming from people who aren't using social media, can I say, or aren't
Yeah.
using or aren't understanding just the power of it. I mean, and I really
Mhm.
was I do commend you all, like being able to light up and show how fun, the experiences are, and
Mhm.
going on trips like that. To me, as an athlete, as an up and coming athlete, you're like, I want to do that, right? And that's hopefully
Yeah.
attracting.
Yeah.
And now I can't certainly, and you can't certainly speak to the financials and all of that goes into running
Mhm.
a organization like USA Swimming. But I,
Yeah.
I really, want this conversation to be focused more around what you and I know, which is the national
Mhm.
team and these international meets, and really truly what is in practice and what goes on, because I feel like that has been what sparked all of this conversation. And I think that
Yeah.
for me, I don't think anyone is sitting there disagreeing, saying, "Hey, no, 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 like we're good. We don't need to hire a CEO." Like I truly believe we all want that, but I think the
Yeah.
timing of kind of leveraging almost your guys' experiences and performances, I just felt like was really unfair, because as you've already said, there's so much positive going on. There's so much support happening to you guys, and it's just not right. So I guess I want to go back a little bit further to Thailand, because that was another big, pain point button that got pushed on, that I felt like was really unfair, because none of us were there, right? You guys were
Mhm.
there. You guys were at this very safe resort, from what I've heard. Can you walk us through what that experience was like, to the best of your ability and kind of knowledge?
Yeah. So Thailand that resort is known for having some of the best athletes in the world come there, and especially like on the swimming side, Australia has been there a lot. I mean, we were there with Great Britain.
Yeah.
I don't see the argument to not have a camp there, especially when it's only a 2 hour flight from Singapore. I remember a couple years ago, it was complained about how we took a 6 hour red eye from Singapore to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't know other, just because I'm not like that familiar with the area down there, but like I don't know any other pools or like really good facilities for us to really train at that's available to us, just because a bunch of other countries are also looking for facilities to train at
Right.
before they go to Singapore. And it's not like we can already be in Singapore, because the training facility we were there for in 2023 was being used as diving. So that was closed. and we're not allowed to train in the competition pool because that would just be unfair to all the other countries. It's like, why does the US get to train here and we can't? Uh, so like to me, that facility was like a perfect option. Um, I was 30-second walk from my hotel room to the pool, and just add another 20 seconds onto that to where we were eating, our breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That's
And
awesome.
I don't know what it was for you guys, but like my first trip was in 2017. It's always been buffet style. There's people that not like the athletes, but like there's people who are commenting on was like, why are we not bringing in chefs and stuff to like handle that for us? And I'm like, first of all, that's a lot of people we have for chefs to cook for, and second, that's incredibly expensive for already like what we're doing. In a sense, like you say something doesn't have that much money.
Yeah.
um so it that was weird to me. But like the trip was overall like it was a good trip. People were swimming really fast. The coaches put together this really awesome suit up Saturday slash Sunday morning that we did when we got there. Everyone was just on the side of the pool deck. Everyone was swimming at like it's kind of like a little bit of a like a meet style
That's cool.
of I want to say Herbie came up with it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Herbie came up with it. But everyone was swimming at like slated times of doing their specific suit up set or broken swims, depending on whatever they needed to do. I was with Katie, of course,
Of course.
doing 10 ones with the suit on. Uh, and everything was going really well. Team was looking great. The staff was, doing staff things. They were being amazing. Greg was doing awesome. Braden was giving us really great and funny speeches. And everything was looking up. And of course, like there's always someone who gets sick on the trip.
Yeah.
Uh, every year I've been on, my first year was me. And then now I got sick again, so I was like, okay, cool. But you always hear the first person who's got you wake up the next morning and then like you hear that person's roommate say like, yeah, my roommate's sick. And it was like, oh man. And then like someone else came in and said their roommate's sick, and I'm like, oof. And then like it just kind of just kept happening, and then food poison. It really kind of just felt like a bad food poisoning for the for the most part. And even like when that was happening, there's some people who bounce back really quickly.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like if you get it, you'll be good to go within like even a day or so. Like some people were back that quick. And I was unfortunately one of the athletes who had to stay back an extra day just because it was too rough to travel on the day where most of the team traveled. Um, but everyone's spirits were still high. No one was like, no one was like, oh, I don't want to compete anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like everyone was still there for a purpose.
Yeah.
And that was, I know we only won one, but that purpose was to win at Worlds, no matter what your event was and what you were there for. So, and like sickness was still kind of going on when we were in Singapore. Some people rebounded a bit, just because it was obviously more than food poisoning, and it was stuff you could really only treat symptoms for. And our doctors were, oh my gosh, they were working a lot.
I
They
bet.
were
I bet.
they were working way overtime, just trying to like figure things out for everybody, and try and make sure everything is running as smoothly as they could get it, just because of how easily and fast it just went through the team. Like for something that like that, like there's no stopping it. I mean, we're with each other all the time.
Yeah.
We're
It's
eating
impossible.
in the same area. People are living together. We have sick rooms, but it was kind of like once you found out you were sick, the odds of your roommate already having it is it's way too late for that.
Yeah.
And then like they got to go eat. So it's there's way too many variables in play there. And our doctors were like great at doing their best to handle it, like try and isolate those people as fast as possible, not letting them see anyone, putting them in the isolated rooms and everything like that. And then like when we got to sing were some rebounds, which was incredibly unfortunate. Myself, my the biggest thing I found for me was just it kind of destroyed my endurance a bit, which
Not like you
kind of
need
sucked.
that
There was no
for your
like,
races, right?
yeah. No, that was it was kind of weird too because we were already testing the waters a few days before to see kind of where my endurance was at. We didn't really change the plan, but like the things I was doing, I was testing them to see like, okay, am I gonna have to like try and back half my races or something like that? Do I have to build into the races or like kind of just change the strategy a bit? Um, but kind of found out didn't matter. The endurance wasn't fully there,
Yeah.
and it really affected the 800 at night because I remember in the morning after that morning swim, it was just everything was just kind of cramping
Ugh.
down there, and which was a bit rough. But like I made it back, so I was that was the goal at that point was just to take it one step at a time and make finals, and which we did. That was great. And I want to say I was fourth out of prelims, but then Sam Short got sick and he had to pull out for the rest of the
Yeah.
race, which was incredibly unfortunate for him too, because he had a really good prelim swim, and I know the 400 didn't go exactly the way he wanted, but I mean he was back in racing all those guys again after the rough year he had last year, uh, dealing with illness and injuries and stuff like that. So it was great to see that, and then unfortunately he got sick too. So I was going in third, and I was confident about it in a sense, but also like weary about how the race was going to shape up because I realized in that morning that I couldn't hang with people and the way I normally could.
What a
Sam
terrible
started
feeling.
to like, yeah, it was like it was a little like confidence shaking, but it was also like in the back of my mind, I was like, today's a new day, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I've had like terrible practices on the same day as really good ones before. So it's like this is a whole new thing. But like in the morning, I remember like Sam pulling away, and I was like, I'm already gassed for especially for like a prelim swim. Like I can't keep up with them. And the same thing kind of happened at night. I thought we were going out a lot faster than what we did. I look at the splits back, it like makes me really angry how slow I was out in compared to like previous years and how I'd done it. So I definitely knew at that race I had to something needed to change about the race plan. And of course everybody else too in their own races it was pretty obvious to see who was hurting,
Yeah. Yeah.
who had it really rough. And still huge shout out to those guys for just getting up there and racing. I mean, because especially for like the younger guys, the whole goal for them is like, it doesn't matter you're a rookie. Get up there, race those people, believe you can beat them.
Yes.
But also like the side goal is like get this experience too. You want this experience for later on in the rest of your meets. It's really good for you. Obviously, it may not go the way you want, um, but that's just how it is. And no one was people were disappointed in their sons, but they weren't allowing it to affect the rest of the team.
That's
If that
so
makes sense.
huge. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you go to a meet and like someone has a bad swim in and then they're just grumpy around everybody else and they're just like
Cloudy, I call it.
everything's about them or
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Um, no one was doing that. Everyone was in the stands cheering. Phoebe was an amazing cheerleader that she's been
I
fantastic.
love
She
Finke.
brings a lot of energy
Yes, yes.
for that. She's awesome at that. Um, so that was great to see, and she was really getting a lot of people like going. Um, but yeah, so no, the whole spirits of the team was doing the best we could for what we were going through because there's obviously still disappointment after some relays. Relays we believed we should win, relays we believed we should medal in, relays we should make it back in. And um, the coaches took like full responsibility for that, in which I don't believe they should really always take full responsibility for that because like it's still like it's a team effort
Yeah.
and the whole time. And you also again, you never know what swimmer is going to be good that day, especially under the illnesses that were going around. There was there's someone on the team who it just kept rebounding on them, which was like it just they'd feel better one day and then terrible the next day, and it was just a cycle for them. But like they're so like I'm still gonna get up and do the best job I can because that's what the goal is to do the best you can, win, and do it for the team, do it for the cap you got on your head and everything like that. Uh, Obviously, it didn't go the way we wanted, never went the way we planned, but for everything going on, I'm proud of the team, and I can surely say like a lot of people aren't happy with how they swam. To if there's like people there, if there's like the general public is just like these guys are probably like happy with how they swam, they're okay with the mediocrity, I guess if that's the word they want to use. Like, no, we're more disappointed in ourselves than you guys could ever be. You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
like I'm more pissed at how I race more than anyone else could ever imagine. It's like I've lost so much sleep over that 800, even from last year, and a mile from 2023 when I lost like by point oh 0.05 to half Nowie. I'm more pissed than anyone else could ever be, and I know like the other swimmers are also like that. So if people are thinking it was like, we're just over here dilly-dallying around, not, thinking about how we can better, like, no, it's the complete opposite. You have no idea, like, how much we take it upon ourselves to try and get better. And like we talked after the meet and stuff, like everyone wants to get back and like prove people wrong because obviously before the meet we had to talk about public opinions now like we talked about on the guys and like just be prepared for whatever's going to happen like that, but also after the meet just because of everything else going around we had a couple team meetings and
Yeah.
talked about that, and wasn't the meetings were needed, but like what was being said, it wasn't needed for what was going on, if that makes sense, because the whole team, like we're already hard on ourselves. We're already way harder on ourselves than anyone else could imagine. Um, but yeah, there's it was definitely it was a good experience to take into the future, so we know what we can do better, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect
But yeah,
sense. Yeah, and I thank you for saying that. I think my heart was breaking for you guys because I knew that what was happening internally in terms of just the gut-wrenching feeling of like not making a final or not going what you want to do or
Mhm.
those I mean, I still have races that haunt me and I'm like 10
Yeah,
years removed, right? I'm sorry to say you will still have haunting post retirement.
yeah,
But I think what was probably the hardest, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that bounce back and it having it returning because it would look like,
Mhm.
oh, the person's fine, and then they're not fine, and that I feel
Yeah.
like drew a lot of criticism. But it sounds like it was just the nature of the illness and the nature of how it
Mhm.
showed up in different people. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah, like 100%. I mean, it was. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
whatever, whatever was like rampaging throughout the team, and I don't think nerves were helping in a sense. Like the nerves and like stress of the meet can already bring out an illness
Yeah.
that was already like being incubated there. Like it can like stress alone can make you sick.
Yeah.
So like the stress you're feeling from already the public opinion that's going around, plus the illness you just had, all three of those things mixed together is it's it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And it was just but like those guys still got up and raced, and that's the most important thing. And like don't get me wrong, can we be better? We can always be better. Like all every single time we can always be better. But it's how we react to those circumstances and situations that will overall like be the turning point for us, whether it's later on in the meet or later on in our careers or future meets and whatnot. And a lot of those guys showed that heart and courage that they're just going to push through.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really looking forward to in the next few years is the team. We're going to have a whole new team next summer with the way Pan or
I
Nationals
know,
is
it's
going. There's so much
insane.
fast swimming going
It's
on. But
insane.
um, so like the team showed a lot of heart and a lot of courage for the next few years, and I'm really excited about that. That's what gets me like pumped up and going. And Adam Peaty said the other day it was like he wants to beat our relay on home soil and stuff like that. We like sent that in the group chat and everything, and it was a lot of good responses to that. And that's is I know I won't be on that relay, but it makes me want to be on that relay.
Yeah.
But I won't be.
I
But
mean, hey, I feel like you
um,
get older, you get some extra speed. Don't count yourself out on that one.
I mean, I hope so. That'd be great. Um, let me. So like that's also lighting a fire, under them, and like shout out to Adam. You're not going to beat us. Just going to stake out there. It's the team's looking good, and I think that's what's the most important thing. And just to like quickly say, like having a CEO at that meet was not going to change how we perform. It, from my eyes, the CEO is mainly there for like the club swimming, I guess, behind it, kind of like that. It's not going to change. Their decisions aren't really going to change how, at least for me personally, it's not going to change how I'm going to race at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Um, it's I just want to see growth in the sport. I think that's like the biggest thing. More people, more competition, faster times. I think it's pretty easy to say. I don't know. It could be way deeper than that, but there's a lot of things I don't know, and I'm not afraid of admitting that. But um, yeah, the team's looking good, and it's there's a lot of um, superstar potential, I guess, when it comes to the next few years amongst both guys and girls. And the girls have already shown like amazing promise. I mean, Gretchen swims were incredible. Kate back to back, and then showing some 100 speed like it was nothing.
Yeah.
It was
Insane on that
awesome.
relay.
So,
It's like
and then of
104?
course Katie doing Katie
Katie
things.
doing Katie things. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that is the number one question from your perspective and thoughts. What are the things when you say we need to get better, we need to get better? What are the things that you
Mhm.
think are needing to happen on the men's side to be putting your hand on the wall first? Again, taking the sickness aside, obviously that was a big
Mhm.
thing. But yeah, what are those things that can put USA men back on the top again?
Yeah, so I it's easy to say, I guess. It's a lot harder to do, but we just need to, it's as simple as saying, it's like we just need to move the needle again. when it comes to Phelps said it, but I guess our standards when it comes to us racing.
But do you think it's
And
standards? You just said it like your
so like
standards are high as anyone, like
exactly,
skyrocketed. So
exactly.
I
Yeah,
think it's
like
not standards.
it just gotta it's just about moving that farther along. Instead of other people breaking the floodgates in events like
Mm,
Pan did last year in the 100, and Papavici doing, um, there was a 143 in 2012, but that was by a very questionable integrity person.
yes,
Um,
yes.
so get rid of that guy. But
Let's
Pop,
just.
yeah, I mean, it's disgusting. But
It is.
uh, Pop moving that needle um, on that side, and Luke Hobson's looking fantastic to
I
keep
know.
moving that needle because he gets better every year, and Alexi's getting better every year too. So instead of like having other countries move the needle for us, we just need to get back in there and do it because we were so far ahead of every other country back then,
Yeah.
and a lot of that could have been because we just had superstars on the team. Like for instance, I think in 2019, only Caleb was the only individual gold medalist on the men's side. It's just that he won 4 events. So it kind of like
Stop. That's such a good
it.
stat.
I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I was seeing last night. It was like he was the only one who won. We did win relays,
Yep, yep.
of course, um, and that's something I very strongly believe we're capable of right now. And at this past Worlds, it's just we got hindered by an illness and just unforeseen circumstances you can't control.
Yeah.
So, and even like when Phelps was swimming, a lot of those years, it was just like him and then maybe just someone else squeaking out like a gold medal here. Um, so it's like there's always the depth of multiple gold medals coming from the team has kind of always been, I don't want to say shaky, but like it's always been, it hasn't changed as much as you think, just in a sense of because there's no the superstar on the men's side is from France, and
Yeah.
that's Leon. So it's and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just we're selfish and we want that person to be from America. It just so happens he's from France. He's just from uh, another part of the world, and he's kicking butt over there for their country, which is great. Swimming's growing in France, and for the French, it's awesome.
Yep.
Uh, But I think we just need to be that standard to just, we need to do what people already thought was impossible, move that needle and make that our standard. In which I can already like strongly believe a lot of the guys are already thinking that way, uh,
Yeah.
in a sense. It's not a foreign way of thinking. It's just, it is probably the exact same 10 years ago when that needle got moved. It just happens that everybody else's needles, all the other countries' needles just caught up to ours. And, we just need to, everybody can move them together. It doesn't just have to be America because Leon's already moved his needle way ahead of ours.
Yeah.
But it's just all about setting that standard and making it harder. Not harder, but I guess, yeah, harder, I guess.
Harder.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
I think
mean,
that's like, I think that's the mindset we need to go about it. Um, but yeah, and whether that comes from how we change training, I don't know. That's a whole like different topic
yeah.
of how training has progressed, especially amongst the sprint events. It's still kind of a little bit the same in distance, I want to say. But yeah, it's trying to find a way to keep moving that needle down a road and breaking records from especially from 2009. But yeah,
What's up, party people? If you are an Unfiltered Waters fan for just even a little bit, you have heard us talk about Dream Recovery. And from the start, Dream Recovery has been dedicated to providing a suite of tools to helping human beings reach their highest potential through sleep and recovery. And so, as you can see here, if you're watching, you can see my swaggy blue light blocking day glasses. I've also got my swaggy blue light blocking night glasses, and they've got their brand new style, which is killing it. If you're listening, then go on Instagram or Google it. And then I'm holding up my Dream Tape Plus. Of course, they've got the Dream Strips that are those vertical ones if you're a little bit nervous of having your mouth taped shut. But the Plus, of course, is that amazing skincare. It's got collagen, it's got aloe vera, it's got vitamin C. I wake up and my lips are flawless. And then, of course, the performance sleep mask is something that I cannot do without. Athletes, we always talk about controlling the controllables. Well, guess what? A sleep mask is step one to doing that, whether you're in an airplane, whether you're in a hotel room. Like, you can't always know what your environment's going to be. So being able to make sure you can black it out completely is huge. So without further ado, you know the drill. It's code Unfiltered30 for 30% off your order. So go shopping and get everything you need to live at your highest potential. Yeah, I mean, this could be a 5-hour podcast if we went into every single avenue. So
easily.
People in the comments, like, I'm sure there's going to be, suggestions and thoughts. I think you and I really want to just have a conversation from someone who is there, your perspective, the athlete's perspective as it pertains to being a USA Swimming national team member, and just overall what was going on in the inside at World Championships. And so I just have to say, I mean, you talked about all these people that fought. I mean, the fact that on the final day you got on the podium, I know that you're up sleepless nights analyzing things, but I just got to give you your snaps, because getting on the podium, feeling how you felt, knowing how your endurance was, and fighting and doing that on the final day, I hope you're giving yourself some affirmation when it comes to that, or are you just still beating yourself up right now?
I'm on all honesty, I'm beating myself up a lot about it.
Okay,
And
that's fair.
I'll probably beat myself up for a long time about it, just because it kind of keeps lighting that fire under you to keep
Yeah.
going. And I don't know if that will please the public. I guess I don't know. But I know eventually down the road it's gonna be like that silver last year to me. It's gonna be something I will be proud of, just because of what I was able to give in that moment and give after that moment in regards to the silver last year towards the mile.
Yeah.
Um, but what this is going to give for the future of my career, especially as I'm getting older now in the sport. Um, so yeah, like I'll beat myself up for the rest of my career for sure, about it. I still think I'm better than what I was able to give. I'll probably always think that way in a sense. I don't think I'll really ever get satisfied in this sport. Uh, so it kind of is just what like helps me keep going, I guess. And like, a reason for me to show up to practice the next day or in a few hours. So yeah, I'll I'll keep being pissed at myself for that for a long time.
I mean, I think the clarification is you're beating yourself up. Like, there's two ways to beat yourself up. It's the beating yourself up
Yeah.
and going to a dark place, right? But it sounds like, based on what I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
of
yeah.
you in our conversations, you're mad, you're beating yourself up, but you use it as super fuel when you take your break
Yeah.
now, you go to Barcelona, you come back, and that's just going to be in
Mhm.
your head at the end of long sets and long weeks and long training blocks. So for kids
Yeah.
listening, that to me is the
Yeah.
healthiest form of tackling swims that you're not happy with, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I went on a run this morning and I was thinking about it. But
How fast was your
so like
pace? Because you were so mad.
okay. I haven't ran in a year. I will say that.
Okay.
And it's really rough this morning. I was only like right under 7 minute pace, And
That's
like it started
fast.
like I started see, I don't think so. I think it's really
Well,
slow.
compared to like the world's best marathoners, correct, it's slow. But like for a
Well, that's where I
swimmer,
want to be whenever, like I don't care that I don't train it. I want to beat them. I will never beat Kipchoge, but
no. But
uh,
honestly, respect because that is every time someone's like, I've done a marathon and people are like, oh my God, that was so good. I'm like, 2 hours off the top world record in the marathon. And people are
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but that's just how your brain
I'm like,
works,
I
right?
don't care. Like that's where I want to be, you know?
Exactly.
Uh, yeah.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I want to move into some fun rapid fire questions because we've obviously been talking about some heavy stuff, and again, I cannot overstate it enough just how much I appreciate it. Because I know it's hard to recount and it's hard to go there. So let's do some fun stuff real quick. So, have you been hearing about this big debate online around what the actual four major cities are in the United States?
Okay, I've heard it once.
Okay, what's your call?
The major four cities.
Yeah.
So obviously New York City,
Yes.
obviously LA,
Yes.
and I want Chicago. Chicago's got to be in there.
I agree.
Um, and it's Miami's an easy pick, but I also feel like DC should be in there. Uh, Obviously, like people are gonna say like Philly or something. I saw people like arguing like their home city. Like I saw someone say something in Montana, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Like
Um,
Yellowstone, I could see it because it's beautiful, but not
yeah,
major city.
for maybe like yeah, not like a uh, population or kind of like density there. So I really think that fourth one, easy answer would be Miami, but just because of the whole America, I think DC. Well,
Yeah.
one of those two. But like those three, LA, Chicago, and New York City, I think have to be in there, just because they're just huge. But yeah.
I think that's a great answer. I think, yeah, the fourth one was tough for me. I think it depends on
Mhm.
everyone thinks Miami because it's just like it's so fun. It's beaches, it's parties, it's
Yeah,
DC
yeah.
is like, our nation's capital, and so it depends
Mhm.
on how you define your major
Yeah.
cities. What are you wanting from the major cities? I think it
Yeah,
comes
yeah, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. Okay, what are you most excited for in your 10-day trip to Barcelona coming up here?
So we are going to go visit the Olympic pool, and
Cool.
other than like sitting out on the beach and enjoying just laying out there, that's going to be great. I'm really excited to see Barcelona because I'm pretty sure that's where Nesty won back in '88,
Um,
or was that '92?
Nesty won in 88, I believe, but
Yeah,
92 I thought was Barcelona.
'92. He medaled in '92 as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Um,
That's so
yeah,
fun.
and so like he's got some stomping grounds there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to going to that park and see the old Olympic pool because we saw when we were in Paris, we trained at that old, really old Olympic pool there. I forgot what year
I think
it
it's like
was from, but
1896. I think that's like if I think of the
some crazy old.
like Olympic
Yeah.
Training Center, you know how they had the flags? The only reason I know that is
Hmm.
because of the flags at the Olympic
Because
Training
it's like
Center.
right there. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so like it's I the idea kind of came from Kieran Smith is like he likes to go see like history and he like knows all the cities in the Olympics and where they've been. And it kind of like got me thinking of like how many Olympic pools can I go visit during my career.
Oh,
So Barcelona, I'm looking forward to Barcelona.
and I'm assuming you've been to the Sydney one, right?
Never been.
Never been. Okay.
I've never been. Yeah, no, no.
That'll be a good one.
I What Olympic pools have I been to? I really haven't been to that many. I mean, obviously Tokyo and Paris and the other Paris one. That might be it, to be honest. That really might just be it.
I mean, if you go to Beijing, it's
But
just
yeah.
like a water park at this point. So it's not even
Yeah,
a,
yeah, that's true. Like some of them have turned into to other pools,
yeah.
which I think that's cool. But
So
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
That's cool. Okay. Well, and 90, we're going way on a
Yeah.
tangent, but 96,
Yeah.
wasn't it at Georgia Tech?
90s. Oh yeah, Atlanta. Yeah, there
Oh
we go.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, been there a bunch of times. So yeah.
You got a good list going. Okay, what would Katie say your red flag in training would be, and what's your green flag? And then same question for Ellie.
Um, red flag in training. Ooh, let's see. What would Katie say? Um, I die a lot.
Is that a red flag?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on how you see it.
That's true.
Is in the sense of like someone who thinks like you should always be fast in training, it might be like that. But Katie also dies a lot, so I don't think she would. That might be her green flag because she also dies a lot in training. It's really funny when we die too, because we'll just drown.
It just means you guys
Um,
are going for it in the
but
beginning, which I feel like is admirable. So, right?
yeah, but sometimes it's just from warm up,
Oh.
and you know something's wrong.
The
But,
worst feeling. You
um,
dive in and you're like trying to reason with yourself. No, no,
you're like,
no. It's
oh,
good. It's good.
you're just like, oh no. Um, mm. Red flag in training. Maybe I should just skip to the Ellie.
Yeah, you can go to
Uh,
Ellie.
Ellie would, so before we went to, before we went to Worlds, or I went to Worlds, I am so I'm really hard on myself. Like, and it's one of the reasons she gives me like her Lucky Duckies. Like, I carry a bag around me with like Lucky Duckies and everything in it.
Stop.
So like, there's a lot of times where I can be just like negative towards myself in a sense like that.
Hmm.
And she got me this, I think she got it when she was in Sweden because she went to Sweden this past year. And she got me this just this little bottle of like water. And it doesn't say water, it says it's supposed to be like a serum in a sense, except it's not a serum, it's just a little canister. And it says like inner critic softener or so like that.
Oh.
So like she gave me that. So I think that would be like my red flag is that I can be really hard on myself and it can get like really negative. And that could honestly probably be like around like training and the same thing with like Katie as
Mm.
well. If I'm like pissed because I'm going like really slow or something that might like that literally could just like rub off. I could be a very grumpy person to be around. Um, green flag from uh from Ellie. I don't know. It's really getting me to think deep here a
I
little
know.
bit.
People struggle so hard
Well,
with the green flags. Isn't that interesting? Like red flag,
yeah,
people are like, boom, here it is. Green, they're like, dang,
yeah.
what am I good at?
I mean, like, I know, like my like serial killer traits and stuff like that. Like, that's fun to me.
Your serial
But
killer?
green
Wait,
flags.
hold on. What do you mean your serial
Wait, have you
killer?
not heard that? So it's something that's just like incredibly weird that you do. Like, I don't listen to music. I'll be in a long car ride and I won't have music playing, or it'll just be quiet in there. Not that I like hate. I don't hate music or anything. I just don't listen to it.
Like when you ran, were
Um,
you listening to any music this morning? Just silence?
no, I was listening to Swim Swam put out a like podcast with the in-cap coach.
Yes, I saw that.
So I was listening to that when I was running. I don't remember much what was said just because I was like, dang, I'm doing terrible right now. But
You're like, I'm
uh,
not 5.5 minute pace on
if
my mile. This sucks.
yeah, I'm like, I am not holding world record pace right now. I am running only twice as fast as I swim right now, which that to me just seems
That is
wrong. I should be running
crazy,
like five times
actually.
as fast.
That is crazy.
But so yeah. But green flag. Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, ask Phil. What's
He's
Phil's
just
green
cute.
flag of yours? What Phil?
He's probably mad at me right now because he's trying to sleep and I'm asking him questions. He's just opening his eyes at me. Yeah, I really don't know. I do not know. Thing is, she like compliments me all the time, and I'm someone who just hates compliments in
Are
a
you bad at
sense. So
receiving them?
I do my sorry.
Are you bad at receiving compliments?
Yeah, yeah. Like it just it makes me feel weird. I don't. It like uncomfortable. I don't know. Um, so it's like I don't really let her say compliments to me just because I'm like, no, stop, please. I don't get it. Um, Mainly because like I just don't know how to react to it. I'm like, oh, you said something that thank you, but also, huh.
It's tough. It's
I
tough.
don't know. It's like someone saying singing happy birthday to you. You don't know what to do. Well, like you're just sitting there like, okay.
You're like, do I make eye
Um,
contact with people? Do I clap?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's tough.
yeah,
That's actually a great analogy of
yeah.
like I don't know what to do with my hands, with my body. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like I don't know what to do. But green flag.
If you don't come
I
up
don't
with
know
one
because
soon, I'm gonna
she
give you one, and then you're gonna be really uncomfortable. So,
she does. Yeah, I mean she does a lot for me. Um, Obviously would not be in the place where I am today without her. Like she does a tremendous amount, and like she'll drive up every weekend to come see me because she can get like a little bit longer time, and she leaves in an early hour on Monday mornings just so she can make work and we can
mm,
spend Sunday night with each other. So
yeah.
she does like a lot, and she did a lot of planning for Barcelona too. Um, but yeah, so there's I can give a million green flags about her, but let's see.
I'm not moving
I don't know.
on
I
until
like
you
to
come
think
up
I'm
with
good at
one.
taking care of Phil. I like
Okay,
I like to think that that could be a green
that
flag
is
as
good.
I'm good at taking care of Phil. I taught him he's really good at heel. So there we go.
That's impressive.
I worked a lot with heel with him. So yeah,
Okay. I mean, that's good for your
I'll take that.
future, like dad energy, like being, taking care of people,
Yeah.
being kind. There's a lot there. So, that
Yeah.
actually leads me to my next question is, do you and Ellie have a dog voice for Phil?
Yeah.
And is it something that you
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
ever
for sure.
use? Because my husband and I, we will not let see the light of day.
Only if there's other people around us with Phil.
Okay.
And a lot of it is because they bring out their dog voice too.
Okay.
I mean, okay, just give me a second here. Sorry, bud. I mean, he's just cute. So,
Oh my gosh. Hi, Phil. Phil is a mood.
yeah,
Phil is a mood.
yeah, I just woke him up. So,
He's upset. Oh, is that a yawn?
yeah, he's looking for his bed.
Oh my
Oh, hi,
gosh.
bud.
That's so cute.
Oh, there he goes. All right, here you go, bud.
We needed a Phil
Yeah,
appearance.
what were we talking about again?
We were talking about Phil.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
all
Oh,
right.
dog. Yeah, dog voice. Yeah,
Dog
for sure.
voice. All right. Actually, I have two more questions. One is, do you remember
Yeah.
a moment when you literally were shooting eye daggers at Nesty?
Yeah. This can be a red flag.
Okay.
Um, I get really grumpy with slow intervals,
Okay.
especially in warm up. In the main set, I'm like, okay, it's that's like part of the set. But like if it's a slow interval in warm up, I won't like shoot. I won't like shoot eye daggers, but like I'm just like I'm just like I don't want to talk to you in a sense of like why did you write this warm up for me?
Because it's not
Um,
efficient. Like, what bothers you about it?
yeah, because it doesn't feel efficient.
Okay.
It's like the perfect word for it. I just not that I feel like I'm wasting my time, but it's like I could get so much done within this interval. Like when we're doing like 50s on a minute, I'm not happy about it. Or what like hundreds on 2 minutes, I'm not happy about it. And I'm not someone who sprints warm up at all.
Okay.
Like
Good.
I
Good.
don't sprint warm up. Um, but like I don't like sitting on the wall because I get cold I could be doing more. Not that I like want to do more, but like, I could get out early in the sense that'd be cool. Getting out early is great.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, oh boy, there was a time like right before Worlds, we actually joined the sprint group. Uh, Katie M and I joined the sprint group
Oh.
after Power just for like a little bit, and then we went off and did a bunch of kind of like thresholdy stuff. But we were doing like 25 dives and just like random like 5 meter kick blast stuff like that, just like really sprinty things. And normally they have like 4 minutes rest in between each thing, which is absolutely absurd. Like they're doing like a 15-meter dive and they need 4 minutes of rest, sometimes longer. And I'm like, what are you? No. I'm like, I'm mad.
Spoken like a
They
true
couldn't do
distance
that this
swimmer.
time though, because yeah, they couldn't do that this time though. Jack normally like runs his practices and the distance because we had to start our set because our set was a little longer after that, and so like sprinters are like a little upset because they didn't get their rest. They had to cut. Oh, geez, they need to do a dive on 2 minutes, a 15-meter dive on like 2 minutes. That's the end of the world instead of four. Um, but yeah, that's what gets me going in a practice is slow intervals. I'm on the wall too much or something like that.
I mean, if that's your biggest frustration, I feel like Nessie's doing pretty good, and I feel like you're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Like in
yeah.
terms
It's
of,
either that or long warm downs. I do not do good with long warm
yeah,
downs.
it's so there's
I don't warm
nothing
down much
worse.
at meets, so
Yeah, well, all right, athletes, we did
yeah,
not hear that, but yeah, I
yeah.
there's, and it's also such an interesting thing to our sport, right? Think about like
Mhm.
football or basketball, or I don't even think track and field does it. I might be wrong, but
Yeah,
to go and break a world record or win a gold medal and then be like, oh, be right back. I need 30 minutes to like just go
yeah,
swim
yeah,
slow. It's
yeah. Just to go
awful.
like like that was actually a conversation. It was like, do track athletes like one because like one of the worst things I hate is just I gotta get back in the pool
I
and
know.
and just like I have to recover my body from swimming by
By
swimming
swimming.
is
Yeah.
always like just a funny concept to me, even though like I totally understand it.
Yes.
Um, but it's like, does track do the same thing? Because like to me, track is a lot harder on your joints
Yeah.
just because how you're striking the ground. So I'm like, do they like
Just walk.
run or yeah, do they walk or do they stretch? I don't know. Especially like if you're only doing a running for 10 seconds,
There's no
like
way.
do they do they I could run I don't know.
I don't know. It's a great
Like I'll run
question
for
to ask.
like what like no what warm down are you doing after a race? But yeah, I don't that's weird to me.
It
We have
is.
a lot of track guys. I can ask them.
Yeah, I
But
know. I
yeah.
also feel like it's just a question I never even considered until this very
Mhm.
moment. So yeah, I'll go do my homework on that after this
Yeah.
conversation. All right, last question. Very basic to the point, but I feel like it helps so many. What is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I've been given a lot of advice over the years. And like the one thing I always like tell swimmers when I'm doing a clinic or something like
Hmm.
that is where I got to where I am today is a lot because I trusted my coaches throughout the whole process, even though like the whole process wasn't smooth.
Mm,
Um, and being a fast age grouper, it's it's cool, it's great. And honestly, in this day and age, with the way college swimming is going, it's unfortunately it's kind of needed now if you want to swim at like especially in the SEC, for D1 just because of the roster caps. Um, so like that's a bit unfortunate about the sport right now when
yeah.
it comes to that. But back then, before that, it was like age group swimming, a lot of it is about like developing and getting the right mindset and stroke technique and how you not necessarily like want to like approach your races, but like get an understanding about your race. In a sense, like for me, understanding a mile, how to swim, how the history of the event is and stuff like that, and kind of like the progression through the event. Uh, just seeing that is like that was the biggest thing as an age grouper. Just because you weren't a fast age grouper doesn't mean you can't be fast later.
Yes.
A lot of people peak at different times. I think like a famous story is Connor Dwyer or so. Like he wasn't that great of an age grouper, but then made the Olympic team in 2012 and 2016, and was a gold medalist in 2012, and I want to say a bronze or silver medalist too in a two free in 2012
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Um, like just because you don't peak early doesn't mean you won't peak at all or be as fast as you think you can be. So like don't give up on like striving to be the best just because you're not the best already,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
That's great.
Because like when you are the best, you have to find like something else to kind of strive in a sense. Like you can still strive to be better, I guess, because it's like you can't strive to be the best when you're the best, if that it's just
Yeah.
some word play. But um yeah, but also like the biggest thing for me was just like trusting your coaches and trust that process. It's not always going to be pretty, right? For me, it's wasn't pretty this year, but I'm still trusting Nessie throughout the rest of this quad, and looking forward to seeing what we can do together again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's huge. Did we cover all? I feel like I didn't go into enough of your research things. Is there anything
yeah.
else that you would like to share that you think would be impactful to people to know from a historic data perspective?
Well, so I don't think you can't really compare generations of the sport just because of how it's just so different today.
Yeah.
Um, just the overall depth of it. And it's kind of like it's what Phelps was able to do in 2008 was like incredible,
Yeah.
but to do that today would be just like his eight was already like absolutely insane, like one of the greatest things ever achieved in sports. And I'm someone who you can't compare sports together. Like when people like have a list of like goats and stuff like that, I like in myself like I cringe a bit because it's just like you can't compare different sports with each other because every sport's in a different process or different like time, age, era, or whatever, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you don't know, you can't compare that with another sports era just because you don't know how developed each sport truly is. Um, but like I don't think that eight gold medals would be possible today. And that was only 16 years ago. And everything's kind of like imagine like what that would have been in 1980. Like that would have been a lot, don't want to say easier to do, but like way more manageable. Um, if there's the same events, obviously, still then, because there's more events now.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's like comparing generations is hard, and that's why I only went back to like 2016, just because that was only 9 years ago, and it was a little bit, like you could still see a slight trend with most events. Some events were still like kind of the same,
Mm-hmm.
um, but there's definitely like a good chunk of events that did like pick up in progression, and which is great to see. Uh, but yeah, comparing like generations, like when people were talking about Rowdy in 1980 and stuff like that, I'm like, that's just different. Um,
Very.
like I'll gold medals and everything, but like don't compare 1980 to 2024 or 2025. It's not the same. But every like each Olympics has its own right to its own Olympics or so. And from Rowdy, he grew the sport. He was literally the voice of swimming for 40 years,
Yeah.
and he's honestly probably like one of the biggest reasons this sport has grown to where it is today globally and everything. Even though like there's a lot of people don't like him. I guess I like his announcing. I've never had a problem with it, but um, a lot of I guess some fans don't like his announcing for some reason. I don't get it, but everyone has their own opinion about it. But he's literally been the voice of swimming, and
Forever.
same thing with Michael and his, how he's grown the sport in the US.
Hmm.
Like when his trend when he was swimming after every Olympics was incredible. Um, it's just it's not comparable with today, and especially with social media and everything in there,
Yeah.
and the general state of the world and the US during each quad is completely different. Um, so kind of lost track of where I was going with this. I just know it's like it's just different
I just think
now.
I really love that you went back and looked at the trends. So
Yeah,
yeah, you're just talking
yeah,
about like what pops up when you
yeah,
look at the trends from a 30,000 foot view and from a very specific event
yeah, yeah,
view. And it sounds like
yeah.
comparison is the thief of joy. Don't compare.
Yeah, yeah, it truly is. It truly is. And like you could go back to 2000 and look up um but like you'll probably see like a 10-second difference between the first person in finals and the last person in finals for like a
Mm.
400 or something like that. I don't know where that might start. Or like 4 seconds in a 200, which is a lot to me in a
Yeah.
200.
Yeah.
But like those, you just can't compare it. That's why like I only try to compare like the top times from that age, I guess, and see like the progression there. But like because the depth just wasn't there back then.
Gotcha.
But it's here now, and it's going to be comparing like 20 years. We're going to be like there was no depth in 2020 or 2024 compared to what it's going to be in like 2050. So like it's just going to keep going, and then like what we're doing now is going to be like obsolete to the future. But um, yeah, just it's cool to look at trends. It's why I just didn't go like that far back into it,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
kind of do want to go back far into it now and like maybe up to like 2008 and see like kind of what they were and then like see like the suit trends and stuff like that and see yeah. Um,
Yeah, you can
but
definitely
yeah,
nerd out for sure over swimming data. Like it's crazy how much
yeah
information is
it
out
was
there.
it was also like kind of I don't think I did it in the best way too. It was because I had to look up each meet and then like click through. It wasn't just like you could use like chat GPT or something to like look up the specific results you wanted because that would have been great. But like I tried it at first and it just kept showing me like the finals result and I'm like, no, I don't want finals. I want semifinals. I want to know what made it the finals for that year. And I was like, oh my gosh. And then do that for each event. But yeah, it was a little tricky. So and like World Aquatics page doesn't make it easy to look at all the events all at once.
I know.
Uh,
I know.
Right? It's I gotta keep clicking through it all, everything and like find it. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. It's yeah.
It,
The biggest thing is also just I don't want to say like the past generations don't respect this generation or so, especially like with just like what was going on at Worlds, and the meme that was sent around and the entitlement phrase that Rowdy backpedaled on now
mhm.
and was saying it wasn't referring to that, I guess. So like, but it's also the biggest thing it's just like I also feel like you're just not respecting what you guys were able to do for the sport, which was grow it
Yeah.
in a sense. And I know it didn't necessarily grow in the US as fast as it grew like globally, but that's also kind of just it's easier to grow something that's not already so developed, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
1,000%. A
So
1,000% makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
So that's kind of like where I'm at with, and like those guys are legends and absolutely love them. And you know what they're saying, like it definitely has truth and merit to it and everything. It's more so like what everybody else is saying for the most part. And I don't, and like kind of the way they went about it too, and like the timing of it was not great at all.
No.
It just brought way too much other stuff with it.
Correct.
But it's also like here's my rambling. It brought us into this talk space though. It was
Yeah.
like we're talking about it. And you know, is I guess someone has to kind of like be that I don't want to say like unprofessional, but it definitely wasn't done in a professional way. Um, you know, kind of be that start, I guess. So like and Ryan was that start. because I think he was the one who made the meme or maybe found it. I don't know.
I feel like he
Um,
found it. I don't know. Is he a meme guy?
there's a lot of swimming meme pages out there on Instagram. I don't know if he got it from someone or not,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
um, it got us talking. So
It got us talking.
uh,
Yeah,
huge props to that. And unfortunate with the timing, but hopefully in the long run it proves to be worth it.
yeah.
That makes sense.
I have a feeling in 2028 we're going to look back on this and we're going to have this
Yeah,
epic Olympic Games on home soil. And I
yeah,
in my
yeah.
soul believe that it
Mhm.
will be incredible and spectacular. And I'll owe you $50,000 as I still have that IOU if you
Oh, yeah. I
call that
completely
over.
forgot about that.
Oh no, the check still exists. It still exists. So we can,
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys have to, because at that point, Unfiltered Waters has to be so successful that we can just,
Mhm.
here you go, Bobby, here's 50K. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
for those of you who don't remember, I owe Bobby 50K if he wins a gold medal and breaks a world record
Yeah.
in LA. So there you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No
It was
pressure.
amazing when it
No
happened.
pressure.
Um, yeah, I mean, I also think like people, because like the home Olympics is coming up, everything's kind of like not like blown out of proportion, but people are just like freaking out more and more, I
Definitely.
guess, just because they want to perform, when we're on that home soil.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
so I think that's like another, exploding factor, I guess, when it comes to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, the I'm ex I'm excited for what's to come in a few years.
Me
And
too.
it should be a lot of fun. It should be interesting. One of the main takeaways from this meet from Greg and Braden was that this is going to be a story to tell for years to come, and probably a very memorable national team as of examples and stuff like that for the staff and whoever's in charge in 20 or 30 or 40 years or something like that. So that's exciting to me. There's a lot to learn from this past trip, and there's also a lot of promise
Yeah.
that was generated from this past trip that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Oh, well, Bobby, thank you so much. I had so much fun talking about everything with you, even though there's hard stuff. Like, you can just feel your authenticity and just how much you want everything to grow and everything to be successful. And I'm sorry, I'm giving you a compliment and making you uncomfortable,
No,
but,
no.
but,
Like I can handle it.
okay,
Like
good,
it's
good,
good.
good.
Like
Oh,